is Friday Night Lights with Brandy Flores. Brought to you by Outdoor Living Concepts, your outdoor cooking specialist.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights Week 5. I'm Brandy Flores. Well, this week is bittersweet. We're wrapping up this shortened 5-week season, but it's been so great to see these student athletes out on the field getting a chance to play after an extended off season. And with the season coming to an end, the standings are set. But before we look ahead to next season, let's wrap up all of the Week 5 action. We'll start with the battle for second place in the DEL, the Ramon Road rivalry, Rancho Mirage and Palm Springs. Palm Springs comes into the game at 3-1. Their lone loss to Palm Desert, their first game of the year. Rancho Mirage comes in at 2-2, looking to secure a share of second place in the DEL. And it was a good one early on the Indians. First place senior running back Arion Kapler takes it 84 yards for the touchdown. One of the best players in the Valley this year, hands down. And just like that, it's 7-0 Palm Springs. After an interception, Palm Springs gets on the board again, making it 14-0 Indians. Rancho Mirage will get on the board with a short touchdown run from quarterback Cesar Vela, cutting the Palm Springs lead and making it 14-7. But after that, it was all Indians. They scored before halftime to take a 3-touchdown lead. And after the break, more of the same. Palm Springs keeps on rolling, winning this one 35-14. The Indians clinched solo second in the DEL with the win. And here's what they had to say.
I'm just excited for the kids, first and foremost, that they had the opportunity to come out here and have some semblance of a season. Very proud of them, happy for my coaches and players and everybody.
A great way to end an amazing season for this Palm Springs team. Now we'll turn to the Valley's most notorious rivalry game, the flag game between Palm Desert and La Quinta. Palm Desert, as you probably know, are the top dogs in the DEL. They're looking to cap off an undefeated season. La Quinta has struggled this year and come into the game winless, but it's a rivalry game and anything goes. Yesterday, Desert Sands Unified announcing that all seniors would be allowed to attend games this week. And as you can see, an electric atmosphere at Palm Desert High School. So great for all these seniors to experience a big rivalry game one last time as students. And now on to the game. The Aztecs QB1 Daniel Carter was injured during the game last week, but he's still supporting his team on the sidelines, crutching along there. That means Brady Clemmer gets a start this evening at quarterback. And as we've said many times this season, this one would be Palm Desert early, doing it all, scoring in the air and on the ground. Running back Connie Joe scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half. A great season for him. Unfortunately, the Blackhawks didn't have a chance in this one. They did manage to put some points on the board though, but Palm Desert comes out on top, 41-3. Another league title for the Aztecs and another undefeated season. Palm Desert seniors were hyped about the win.
It's the last game of the season, my last game ever as a high school senior. And, we came in ready, wanted to fly off the ball, and of course it was shaky at the start, but I mean, got the job done, and the flag's ours.
Can't really put it into words. I mean, these seniors are my best friends they're my older brothers. We've always said that we've wanted to blow out LQ, and we finally got to do it, and there's no better feeling.
Congratulations to this Palm Desert Aztecs team. Can't wait to see what the undefeated champs do for next season. And now we'll turn to the DVL. 2 games on the schedule tonight. We'll start with Desert Hot Springs hosting Cathedral City. And I want to take a second to highlight the Lions. Before the season, I spoke to head coach Richard Lee about his extremely young team. Of
our 32 kids, maybe 20 of them have never played football before. So so there's a lot we have some freshmen, and we told the freshmen the other night, hey, congratulations, you're a varsity football player, just by walking on campus. Cathedral City overcoming so much. Now they sit at 3-1, coming in on a 3-game win streak and looking to secure second place in the DVL. This one was a good early one as well. Desert Hot Springs would jump out to a 6-0 lead in the first quarter, but Cathedral City would answer quickly, tying the game up at 6. Then in the second quarter, the Lions would get on a roll, scoring once after a long drive, and again shortly thereafter, a Desert Hot Springs fumble. Cathedral City would take a 20-6 lead at halftime. Desert Hot Springs would get close after scoring out of halftime, but the Lions keep some distance and end up winning this one 39-14. Once again, so impressive for this young team. Here's what Coach Lee had to say after finishing 4-1, good for second place in the DVL.
We had a lot of new players and everything else that we got to adjust to, but our kids actually, over the course of the season, you can see them progress and start to pick things up. And some of our players are returning players. So we have some pretty good players. They've stepped up, and so they turned into a pretty good season, man. We were blessed to be able to play to begin with, so we were happy about that. But it's just really nice to see us finish out like that.
Coach Lee also has to be proud of the program he's built to be so successful with this group of kids. Congratulations to the Lions for ending strong. And all right, just 4 games on the schedule this week, but still a lot of action for this week 5. Let's recap it just in case you missed any of tonight's scores. In the DEL, Palm Springs beats Rancho Mirage. In the Ramon Road rivalry game, Palm Desert handles La Quinta in the flag game to finish off their undefeated season. And in the DVL, Cathedral City beats Desert Hot Springs to clinch second place. An impressive season once again, and 29 Palms beats Indio to finish off their year. All right, so week 5 is officially in the books, except for one more DEL game tomorrow, but we have a pretty good idea of what the standings are going to look like, so let's take a look. We'll start with the DEL. Palm Desert finishes a perfect 5-0, taking the league championship. The Aztecs were a force all season long and are definitely looking like the favorites heading into the fall. After their win tonight, Palm Springs finishes in second at 4-1. They played the Aztecs tough in their first game of the year. Would have loved to see another matchup between those two teams. And here's where things get uncertain. The outcome of tomorrow's game between Xavier Prep and Shadow Hills will determine 3rd through 5th place. So be sure to join us tomorrow to find out the rest of the standings. And finally, La Quinta finishes with a year winless, a tough season for a young Blackhawks team. In the DVL, Coachella Valley was the team to beat this year with their own undefeated season, finishing at 4-0. Cathedral City finishes at 2nd at 4-1, and 29 Palms in 3rd. Indio in 4th, and then several winless teams. There were some cancellations. Some teams started late throughout the season in the DVL, so some teams played fewer games than others. And this shortened high school football season is in the books. The standings are set, and now we're looking forward to a full season in the fall. Joining us now is Desert Sun sports reporter Shad Powers, talking about, first of all, Shad, how are you this evening? Thank you for joining the show.
Excellent. Excellent. It's a beautiful night for football again.
Awesome, right? All right, so we're going to first talk about one of the most celebrated rivalries here in the desert, the flag game between La Quinta and Palm Desert. Can you tell us a little bit about the history behind that?
Yeah, I think everyone agrees this is kind of the most ferocious rivalry in the desert, especially when it comes to the actual football. Indio and CV has a longer rivalry, and that's a great community rivalry. But this one, usually whoever wins the flag game is usually also in contention for the league title. And that was the case again tonight. But this was the 26th time they've met. La Quinta had a stranglehold on it for a long time. Palm Desert has won the last 4, so it's kind of goes in cycles like that. I think I was just looking it up. In the 26 times now, La Quinta leads 15-11. So it's been a great series, and tonight was an exception, but usually the games are really close and exciting too.
Yeah, I mean, and the rivalry spirit is always there, right? And I mean, so you were at that game. I mean, obviously Palm Desert won very handedly, but who were the standout players for the Aztecs this entire season? They've been dominating the whole league. Yeah,
it was interesting. And obviously their defense is what they really bank on. In fact, in the last 4 games, they've only allowed a total of 10 points. But offensively tonight, it was a little bit interesting. They did not have their quarterback, Daniel Carter, who hurt his leg last week. So a sophomore, Brady Clemmer, had to step in, and he did a great job. Had 3 touchdown passes, looked kind of poised after a few early nervous moments. And so he's going to be a nice guy to have around for a couple of years. And for him to get this experience in a big game like this was nice for them. Of course, Han Joe, their excellent running back, did well again, 2 touchdowns tonight. So, the offense, almost everybody's going to be back in the fall. So I know Coach McComb is excited about that. The defense was stout again. And just got to give credit to these seniors. I mean, think about that, going your whole high school football career and never losing a league game. That's what they've accomplished now.
Literally, I don't know anybody who could say that. So congratulations to the Aztecs, a phenomenal 4-year run for them. And let's hope it keeps on going for them. So now let's move on to another rivalry game that happened this evening, the Ramon Road rivalry game. And I was at that game between Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage, and they were battling for second place in the DEL. And I got to say, Palm Springs dominated. I mean, first play, Arian Kapler, probably the best running back in the league this year. He's a senior. I mean, just all muscle. 84 yards, first play, touchdown. I mean, after that, the tone was set, honestly. And unfortunately, for Rancho Mirage, nothing was really working for them tonight. But they still tried to fight till the very end. For you, Shad, who were your standout players from Rancho Mirage or the Palm Springs Indians?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to try to tackle Arian Kapler, that's for sure. I would just let him go right on by. But yeah, I mean, Kapler's been amazing. I like the duo at Rancho Mirage too, Cesar Vela at quarterback and Ty Hirschberger, the receiver. But I'm not surprised that Palm Springs won that game tonight. I think it's pretty clear that they were the second best team after Palm Desert. And like you said, that opening week game came down to the very last play. Palm Springs was on about the 10-yard line, had a pass play that could have won it, and that would have tipped the scales. But kudos to Palm Springs on another great year. They've really got sort of a foundation going now that you just expect them to be near the top every year.
Yeah, of course. I mean, can't wait to see what all these teams do next year, hopefully later in the fall. We keep saying next year, but it's most likely going to be later this fall. As we wrap up our last Friday Night Lights show of the season, I want to take a second and shout out all of the Coachella Valley student athletes. It might not have been a full season, but you gave it your all and entertained us for 5 straight weeks. We here at NBC Palm Springs are so grateful we were able to highlight our local programs. And here's to the future in the fall when we'll hopefully have a more normal season. We're already looking forward to it and are taking notes on who will be the teams to beat. So once again, thank you so much for watching Friday Night Lights. I'm Brandy Flores. Have a great night.